Hello, Bobby Torres of Frightbox recording here to talk a little bit about one of my all-time favorite vocal effects that I use in many of my mixes and how I'm now achieving it all with one single plugin. So without any further ado, I'm going to play an audio sample back that demonstrates this effect, showcasing how I traditionally will go about achieving this effect and how, again, I'm doing it all with one simple plugin that I'm really falling in love with. So let's check it out. So as you can hear, you heard that nice lo-fi, distant, otherworldly vocal effect that's very common on many modern productions and even older productions. It's something that I use all of the time, especially if I want a vocal to be smaller, a little more distant, and just a little more out of the way. And again, a little more otherworldly. That's how I like to put it. So that way, when the main vocal kicks in, it punches hard, and all of a sudden your vocal is right there in front of your face. Now, for the most part, the way I achieve this is through multiple plugins. Often I'll have to use an amp-sim plugin, and then I'll have to filter the amp-sim plugin to make it lo-fi by getting rid of a bunch of the low end and top end. And then, of course, I'm gonna have to compress the signal, and then often I'll have to send it to a reverb or a delay. So multiple steps, not the end of the world, but I'm all about efficiency and achieving the best results possible with minimal fuss, right to the point, so I can move on to other elements in the mix. So that lo-fi vocal that you heard was achieved through multiple plugins, and right now, just recently, I started utilizing the new Telofi plugin by Black Salt Audio, and I'm achieving that exact same sound all in this single plugin, just by manipulating a few simple knobs. Let's take a listen. Let's hear the vocal raw in solo.
You know there's something that I can do on my own. It's well known.
So that's just my SM7B plugged directly into my boring USB interface. And again, it needs a lot of character, it needs that filtering, and it needs that effect. And like I said, I'm doing it all here within this single instance of the Telofi plugin. And there are some basic controls here that give me the exact same effect that I achieved through multiple plugins and then some, which I'm gonna share right now. So right here, I have my simple effect knob, which lets me choose everything between 0% and 100%. And as I increase this knob, it will thin out the source by exaggerating the low frequency cutoff and the high frequency cutoff. I don't have to engage a high pass and low pass filter. It's all here for me within one single knob. Let's hear the effect of this knob.
You know there's something that I can do on my own. It's well known.
Really cool, super simple. As I increase this knob, it just makes my vocal sound much more lo-fi, which is the point and the effect that I'm going after. So right after that, there is a simple tone control, which I believe shifts where the focal point is of the filters or the non-filtered area. So it's super simple. If I want the vocal to sound darker, I will pull the knob more toward the low side. If I want it to sound brighter, I move it more toward the high side. Let's experiment.
You know there's something that I can do on my own. It's well known.
I don't have to think about numbers. I don't get caught up in graphs. All right here in this plugin. And something that I love is that the compression is built right into this plugin, so I don't even have to use a compressor plugin. So right now I have it pretty cranked. Again, this vocal was recorded raw, no compression on the way in, just a raw home studio recorded vocal. And I have my compression set to 81%. Let's see what this knob does.
You know there's something that I can do on my own. It's well known.
Just by increasing this knob, the vocal is much more consistent, and again, I don't have to overthink it. Now, I love the saturation that's pre-built in this plugin. It's very musical sounding to me. I actually like it more than the amp sim that I was using previously. And again, it's right here in the plugin, and you can choose any amount of distortion you want from 0% all the way up to 100%, and I had it somewhere, I don't know, I didn't even pay attention, somewhere around 75%. Let's hear what the dirt knob does, which again adds distortion and very colorful, musical, analog sounding, and retro sounding saturation.
You know there's something that I can do on my own.
Yeah, it sounds great. Now, I'm actually looking forward to using this plugin on other instruments like drums, maybe bass guitar, because again, I love the sound of that saturation, and I am a saturation junkie. Now, two other quick things that I think are really amazing bonuses that come with this plugin. The one thing is the slap echo that the plugin includes. Now, I'm a huge fan of using a simple slap delay on my vocals to begin with. So the fact that I could just slap this plugin on my chain and my slap echo is there. Again, I could choose between 0% and 100% without having to create a send or pull up another delay plugin or another plugin in general. It's very, very convenient. Let's hear what this knob is doing.
You know there's something.
So it's super dry.
You know there's something that I can do on my own.
Just a short, simple Elvis-style slap, which again, I use in my mixes anyway, right in the plugin. Super convenient. And then finally, the thing that takes this above the chain that I was using before is the fact that there is a wet dry knob built into the plugin. So again, if I were using this plugin maybe on drums or on the mix as a whole, or maybe just a certain segment of my mix, like the drums and the bass guitar as an effect, I don't have to go 100% with it. I can use parallel processing without having to set up a parallel bus in my DAW. So it's super simple. If I pull the knob all the way down, it's gonna be completely dry, and as I increase it, more of the effect will be introduced into the signal until it's 100% wet. Let's hear the spectrum of this effect over this unprocessed vocal.
You know there's something that I can do on my own. It's well known. You know there's something that I can do on my own. It's well known. I love my beautiful life. Break my concentrated view.
So there you have it, and as you could hear when the full band kicked in and the main vocal kicked in, it was nice and powerful, and that's why I love this effect. I use it on so many of my productions, and I love that now I can achieve it all within one simple plugin. For me, the less plugins I have to use, the better. The less I have to think about numbers and graphs and charts and pulling out the manual, the better. And this plugin definitely sets me in that direction and gets me in that more creative workflow and mindset. And that's why I love it. If you're interested in checking out this plugin, you could try it for absolutely free for 14 days. There's a link below in this video's description where you could check out the Black Salt Audio Telofi. I highly recommend it if you're into this vocal effect. So I'm curious to know, is this an effect that you use in your mixes? Do you use it on vocals, maybe lead guitars, which I do often as well, drums? Let me know by leaving a comment in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your opinion. And also, I just want to say this. This is the absolute most exciting and best time in history to be a hard rock or metal musician, mainly due to the fact that we are not limited by the space that we're stuck working in, or even the DAW, or the limited tools that we might have at our disposal. And this is all due to the fact that we have access to incredible things called amp sims and MIDI drums. The problem that I see over and over and over again is that people just don't know how to use these tools effectively. And that's why I've put together my MIDI drum and amp sim production checklist. In this checklist, I highlight the areas where people generally go wrong so you can avoid these mistakes and achieve better results with the tools that you're currently using and the amp sims and MIDI drums that you're currently using. The PDF guide is absolutely free, and you could have direct access right now, again, by clicking the link below in this video's description. If you found this video helpful, like, comment, subscribe, and share. And do not forget to click the little bell icon so you can be notified every time I upload one of my weekly videos on all things metal and rock production. Until next time, happy mixing.